Hello, and welcome to the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical L's Network, part of Fans First Sports Network. I'm Steve Gill. I'm your host. Well, that didn't turn out the way I wanted it, but I knew going into this game that Seattle's a tough place to play. They hadn't won there since '89. They've only won there 3 times. In '89, I think Seattle was part of the AFC back then. So, but I got to give credit where credit is due. This team has a lot of heart, and they showed it. Right now in Cleveland, everybody is calling for Kevin Stefanski's head because he made, they think, one bad call. It cost him the game. Well, I hate to tell you this, but it was 14-0, and the Browns were looking like they were about to get run out of the stadium. They were on the verge of being boat raced. But then play calling, offense, 80-yard drive, 67-yard dive for touchdowns, got them back in the game. Who played all those? Who made all those play calls? Oh, that's right. It was Kevin Stefanski. Look, should he have run the ball on 3rd and 3? Seattle was set up to stop the run. The wide receiver was open. You call the right plays and you expect your players to execute them. They have a third-string quarterback playing. So keep that in mind. Offensive line, again, played great. Wide receivers are open. Would the Deshaun Watson, who played at the Titans game, made a difference? Oh, heck yeah. He would see those wide open receivers. Everybody's complaining about Elijah Moore, but every time I go back and look at it, he's open. I mean, he is wide open on where they had to settle for the field goal when P.J. Walker tried to force it to Amari Cooper. I hate to tell you this, but Elijah Moore was open. But P.J. Walker is a third-string quarterback. So defense played great again. Kept them in the game. My only problem is for the 3rd straight week, they've allowed the opponent to go down and score late in the game. Now, I know that bonk off the helmet interception, how fluky is that? That'll go down in the history, with the Dwayne Rubb taking his helmet off type stuff, the annals of how the Browns can lose a game. But, also, missed tackles. They played 7 games. I think out of those 7, they've only had 2 games where they were less than 10 missed tackles. That was the first game against Cincinnati and the 3rd game against Tennessee. They're starting to miss tackles. Our defense is figuring Jim Schwartz? Yes. That inside run keeps offenses on the field. So they've got to figure out something, especially before they play Baltimore. I thought the running game, 155 yards rushing. I'm very happy that he finally used Pierre Strong. Kid is a great running back. Kevin Stefanski called a lot of screens because he knew the Seattle defense might be suspect against the screen. He was from left, right, over the middle. They worked. They all worked. Screen plays work when you got an aggressive defense. Special teams, we got a kicker. And right now, our punter is killing it. Yes, if they would have run the ball on 3rd and 3 and didn't get it, they could have punted, pinned Seattle deep, but there's no guarantee that Seattle wouldn't go down in less than 2 minutes and score, or at least get a field goal and force it into overtime. Our defense has been giving up late drives to the opposition. Like I said, 3rd straight week. Something's got to be done with that. Slow start again, too. Another opening drive touchdown. This time it was 2 opening drive touchdowns. But the offense played a little better. They're still in efficiency ratings. The offense is 29th, which that's where you're going to be without Watson or Chubb. Defense is number 2. And efficiency rating, our special teams, number 1. I love it. Just need to get that offense just somewhere in the teens, 17, 16 in efficiency rating. and they'll win. All right, so what's going on? So, like I said, I really didn't expect them to win out there. That's a house of horrors for Browns fans. That out in Seattle, they've taken better teams than the Seahawks out there and gotten their butt kicked. They were very competitive. It was probably, I don't know, the best game of the weekend for a unbiased fan. Moving forward. Now they take on the Arizona Cardinals with Josh Dobbs. Thank goodness. I thought for sure Tyler Murray would be back, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like Josh Dobbs is going to be starting. You can get well at home against the Arizona Cardinals. Trading deadline is coming up. I really don't expect the Browns to do anything. Everybody is saying, well, they need a running back. I don't think they need a running back. Their 3 running backs are working great, Mike. That was another little thing that bothered me about yesterday's game. Where's Kareem Hunt in the fourth quarter? Guy is a battering ram. Would he have gotten that 3rd and 3? I don't know. Like I said, Seattle was stacked against the run. That's why you would try a pass play there. They weren't expecting it. So where was Kareem Hunt in the fourth quarter? Don't get me wrong. He probably should have been taking the reps away from Jerome Ford, not Pierre Strong. I love Pierre Strong. Amari Cooper found his way back to the catching balls. David Njoku continues to live up to that big contract of his. They did try one of those little trick plays with Marquise Goodwin. It didn't work. I'm so glad Kevin Stefanski didn't go back to it. You're good with one of those again. But I still would like to see Marquise Goodwin run deep routes. Even if he doesn't catch the ball, he's going to take a safety with him. Safety in a corner. That would open up things over the middle. But anyway, I am not angry about the game. I know fans are mad at Kevin Stefanski and want him to be fired, but I like to see how they would do on a sideline during an NFL game. They probably wet their pants. So be quiet. Kevin is going to be fine. Coach Stefanski is going to be fine. Like I said, they were down 14-0. It was Stefanski's play calling that brought them back. All right, let's talk about the trade deadline after this little short intermission. So tomorrow's the NFL trade deadline. A lot of people want the Browns. They think they're going to get a running back, like I said earlier. I'm happy with the running backs. You've heard rumors that they're looking for a wide receiver. I don't believe that for 1 minute. They have wide receivers. They just need a quarterback to get them the ball. That's it. Quarterback, no, they're not going to trade for a quarterback. I'm hearing that Deshaun Watson will be back for the Baltimore game. So we're going to have one more game with P.J. Walker against Arizona. Offensive tackle, at first I kind of wanted the offensive tackle, but this is the 3rd straight game the offensive line has played extremely well. Seattle is a good defense, and they played very well. So I'm not for mixing it up there. If it's working, let's just leave it alone. Where else might they? I'd like to get another defensive player. Greg Newsome has a hamstring problem. Cameron Mitchell played well. Should have had that interception. But can you count on him, a rookie, for this long? You might want to look at DB help. You might want to look. How about a pass rusher? If we could find somebody for a 3rd day pick and just bring them in on 3rd down, I would love that. You don't trade to fix a weakness. You got weaknesses. Why don't we trade to strengthen the team? Maybe a linebacker. Although I don't know who's going to not play. I mean, Taki's playing. He played yesterday. Anthony Walker, JOK. They're light, but Taki's a good size linebacker. So maybe a DB, maybe a pass rusher. I really can't see him doing anything at the trade deadline. I don't really think they need anything. If Deshaun Watson is truly going to be ready for Baltimore, why rent a quarterback for one game? Running back, like I said, I like our running backs. I'm glad they use Pierre Strong more. I was hoping they would. Kareem Hunt, he looks like he did 2 years ago. I don't know what his problem was last year. He had really looked like he lost the step last year, but this year he's coming back good. And Jerome Ford, he doesn't run well between the tackles. That's Kareem Hunt's job. But when he gets on the outside, he's got the speed to run away from defenses. So, and like I said, wide receiver, they have the wide receivers. I don't. I think Cedric Tillman, our third-round pick, I think he's hurt. That's why he isn't playing. But you still have Marquise Goodwin, who can stretch a field. Elijah Moore is getting open. He's like still top 5 in separation. David Njoku is catching everything, and Amari Cooper is just phenomenal. So, we were due a game where the luck went the other way. Could the referees have called on that touchdown, that last Seattle touchdown? Could they have called DK Metcalf for offensive holding offensive holding on the defensive end? Yeah, he probably could have. Is the defense the greatest in the world, like Juan Thornhill said? No, they're not. They are starting to get figured out, but they're still a really damn good defense. And put in the right situations, they can stop any. With that defense, you're really not afraid to play any team. The Browns are 4-3 right now. If the playoffs started today, they would be, I think, 6th or 7th. So they're still in it. I mean, there's only 4 AFC teams that are 6-2, and luckily you play 2 of them, Baltimore and Jacksonville. So let's look around the AFC North. Jacksonville, kind of a ho-hum game. Thought it might be a trap game. Nah, they're good. San Francisco 49ers and Cincinnati. Cincinnati just took them to the woodshed. I don't know what's wrong. I think the league is figured out San Francisco 49ers. Cincinnati, right? I don't know how they do it. They would drive me crazy. You start slow, and then all of a sudden you start reeling off victory after victory. Joe Burrow is playing like Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson is playing like Lamar Jackson. They're the best 2 teams in the AFC North. If I had to pick one right now, I'd go with Cincinnati. Pittsburgh, I watched some of that game while I was waiting for the Browns. They stink. They are truly bad. And like I said every week, this will be the first season that Mike Tomlin ends this year with a losing record. I firmly believe that. But then you got to see Jacksonville, who have won 5 straight. They are a really good team. Jacksonville Jaguars are. Sunshine is throwing the ball around really well. Their defense is playing well. Luckily, the Browns get them in Cleveland in December, not in Jacksonville. So that's good news. So I like I said, I hate it when the Browns lose, but I'm really not that upset. I kind of expected them to lose, and I was surprised by their resilience and their heart and their fight. They didn't give up. It looked like they were going to get out of there with a victory, but ball bounced the wrong way. We had it bounce the right way against the Colts and the 49ers, and, push comes to shove. You can't be lucky in every game. All right. So that's it. As you can tell, I got a new shirt. Thank you, John. It's a Fanatical Elf polo. I love it. Embroidered patch. Really cool. I believe you can order these. I'm not sure where. You might have to hit a couple of social media sites. Maybe look at the Facebook page or the Twitter page. There should be somewhere where you can order gear from the Fanatical Elves Network. All right, that's it for the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. And all I can say is we're moving on to Arizona, put this one behind us, and let's go Browns.